Hi, my name is Rylie Pachelli, and I am in the 3+2 program, and I am obtaining a bachelor's in business economics and finance. So I am from Trinidad, Colorado, and the reason why I wanted to come to Colorado State University Pueblo was because of the President's Leadership Program was a big driver at the beginning for me. I didn't make my decision to go to CSU until the deadline was here. And my counselor had spoke about the President's Leadership Program and that I should apply and interview for them. And I was able to get into the program, and that was kind of the main force. And not only that, but Trinidad is a very small town. I come from a small town, and Pueblo kind of resembles Trinidad in my mind. And so it was just I felt like I fit right in at the beginning. And I also came here because of affordability and all the scholarship opportunities that I have received. So transitioning into CSU Pueblo was actually very easy, and the reason being was that the President's Leadership Program actually has a retreat before you start the first week of college. So when we did that retreat, I actually already made connections before even stepping foot on campus. So once I finally did step foot on campus, I already had friends I could talk to, people I could go to, and it was just an easy, transition from Trinidad to CSU. With me majoring in finance, the reason why I decided to go that route was I turned about 15 years old, I believe, and my mom had given me a financial book for either my birthday or maybe it was just a gift for an occasion, I don't really remember. And I instantly connected with finance, and I kind of just wanted to learn, how do I deal with my own finances? What's a FICO score? I was kind of what is this new world? And once I graduated high school, I thought, going into finance would be great for me because I eventually want to become a financial advisor and I want to help people. That's kind of what I've done my whole life, is I've always wanted to help others. I would definitely say finance is a male-dominated field. I see it in my classes, and I haven't seen it quite in the workforce yet, but I hear my professors talk about it a lot of the time. It makes me feel empowered, being a female, and let's say there's 10 males in my classroom versus 4 females. It makes me feel like, I can achieve, great things and still, have that male-female relationship in that field. So CSU Pueblo has definitely helped me grow in many aspects of my life. Personally, I have developed into being a more personable person, I guess you could say. I have learned a great deal of how to connect with people and how to get along with them. Academically, I would say, since we are a smaller college, I have those one-on-one connections with my professors, which has helped me greatly over the course of my 4 years, just because I can go to them and they know who I am, and I'm able to relate with them on a level that you probably wouldn't get at, CSU Fort Collins or CSU Boulder. And just the programs that have been provided here have also helped me. And for example, I'm in the 3+2 program. I had no idea that was even a thing that you could do. And, with the President's Leadership Program and everything like that, I feel, more confident about going into the workforce and being able to just have a good life from college after I graduate. If there was a moment that I would say I truly belonged at CSU Pueblo, I think the first time was my classes. And this may be just a freshman thing, but you go to class and you immediately want to make friends. Everybody was very friendly, talking to you, sitting by you. It wasn't like we were, trying to be shoved into a corner or whatever it may be. So that first day was just, really nice, finding comfort in people that you didn't even know yet. And I also will bring up a memory of President Mote. We were going to class, it was an 8 a.m. class, and he was walking around campus, and there were the hammocks in the trees by the Oshiato Student Center. And we actually got in the hammocks with him, and there's a picture of us doing the CSU Pueblo, our sign. And it was just so cool seeing, someone higher up, if you will, just talk with the students and, be around. I think what comes to mind right away is my junior year of college. We had to do an outreach in the community through, again, back to the President's Leadership Program. And we were able to host an event that helped over 170 individuals, whether they were unhoused, single parents, whatever it may be. And 22 organizations showed up from all around Pueblo, nonprofits, healthcare. I forgot what else we had there, but it was just a variety. And we were able to demonstrate, there's just 11 college students wanting to change something in Pueblo, and we were able to make that change through the President's Leadership Program. And that has been the biggest opportunity for me, is just seeing how much you can change someone's life with almost little to no effort or little to no money. We actually we had donations. It was just donations, actually. We probably only spent like $7 on a clicker just to see how many people came in. But it was just a great way of seeing, how you could help the community. I have always known that I wanted to help people in, my life. I just didn't know how. And it became more prevalent throughout the 4 years of college that I've been here. I say thank you to all my donors for my scholarships. That has given me so much opportunity. I just want to say that, it helps my parents at night. It eases that stress. And being here the 4 years, I have received the Presidential Merit Scholarship, the Sandy Rawlings, I believe it's called, scholarship through, again, the President's Leadership Program. And it has just helped tremendously, just with the ease of mind and being able to obtain my degree. I believe it would have been harder. I would have had to probably work a little bit harder, maybe take on more jobs. I still would have gone to college regardless, just because I believe it's important for what I want to pursue. So that definitely just helped me get through my schooling. Yeah, I would just say that your investment is, helping people's lives. And once we graduate and we go on, you will see the output of, putting your money into a student. You're just, helping them be better people and to get, out there in the world and do great things. And, there's nothing better than that, honestly. So as of right now, I am actually looking into multiple internships, and I recently interviewed with Northwestern Mutual. And if I were to get that internship, they would allow me to do my spring semester before I graduate, as well as throughout the summer. So my path looks like, achieving my insurance permits, trying to get, my investment exams, through, and I either want to end up in Springs, Colorado Springs, or back in Pueblo. And if that doesn't work out, I will also go back to Trinidad. I think I will always end up in Trinidad at some point in my life, but I want to kind of explore first before I go back. Yeah, so the time here at HSB has definitely prepared me in many aspects, and one being I will praise the 3+2 program wherever I go, just because I'm able to obtain a master's and bachelor's degree in 5 years, and in my circumstances I am doing it in 4. I came in with college credit, and so that has helped a ton, just because I'm able to get that one extra step, my master's, and show for it and be able to go into the workforce strong. I also believe the professors are another driver of the HSB. They definitely know what they're talking about, and I am not afraid to go with them, go to them and be like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about being in the real world? Help me. And that has also been great too. Something that I will take with me is probably my community and the memories that I've had here. I believe, I'll come back in one way or another. I was recently at the luncheon scholarship, or scholarship lunch, I should say, and something that kind of sparked in my brain was I eventually want to be that donor in that seat. So that way, I can invest in other people's futures. And that is definitely one thing I want to take away from here, just to give back to all of the opportunities I've had here at CSU Pueblo. Being a senior in high school, getting ready to graduate and go on to college, I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. I still kind of feel like that, but I just was thinking, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? What kind of person am I going to be? And looking back now that I'm a senior in college getting ready to graduate, I kind of want to look at her and just be like, your path. And that path, I'll go back to saying, is to help people. And I am willing to do it in any way that I can. And it just I feel more excited than I was as a high schooler. I couldn't wait to get to college. And now I'm like, I can't wait to start my life with all the knowledge I've obtained throughout the years. So I feel more confident in my decisions. My transition from my senior year of high school to college wasn't that bad. I would say COVID it impacted more of the beginning of my senior year of high school. So the transition was pretty smooth. So I was just trying to figure it all out. And, I had never been to a college other than like TSJC, where it's very small, very, community based. And so just trying to figure out, how does this work? What's going on here? It means, so to be a part of the PAC means community. I'm gonna go back to that. It means sticking together no matter what, just like a pack of wolves does. And it just feels, really comforting to know that you have people by your side. And I believe it also means that, resilience, intelligence, whatever else you want to say there, I can't think of anything. But it's great to be a part of this community. One thing that I would tell donors and alumni that have invested their time and their money into the students here is a huge thank you, first of all. There is no amount of words, no amount of thank yous that I can say for helping, students get an education that they may have not been able to otherwise, and that you are not wasting anything, any time, any money. And I just want you to know that the students that are, having scholarships or having those, communities with the alumni or whatever it may be, they are going to go out there and they are going to do great in the world, and they are a huge part of that. The donors and alumni are a huge part of that, and I just want you to feel good about yourselves, for just, even if it's a small donation, you're doing a great job for the community. Thank you for investing in me, and get ready to follow along throughout the spring semester as I go through my last semester of being a 3+2 student and all the way up until graduation.